Well, what's up, going on, legends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's How to Unlock video, we're covering the Modern Warfare Crossbow for those of you that are free to play in Warzone. Now, this is actually one of the few weapons I never did in the past. Tons of new players join all the time. We're on a new map, and overall, there still could be people struggling to unlock this, so I actually wanted to put this video out. Now, you guys can expect me to cover some tips and tricks to make it a bit easier. We'll go over the challenge, you know exactly what to do to unlock it, and I will even give you guys a recommended loadout to best set you up for success. Before we dive into it, if you guys do enjoy this content at any time or find this video helpful in any way, make sure you guys show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. Going through a goal of 50 likes on today's video, as well as if you guys would like to find your way back to the channel for more Call of Duty content, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button, also that notification bell so we don't miss you in future videos. Alright, in order to unlock this, you're going to need to, of course, know what the challenge is. So if you go to where you edit your loadout, go over to the marksman rifles, go down to the crossbow, and make sure it says Modern Warfare. Your challenge should be read as follows. Using a marksman rifle with a reflex optic, get 5 kills in 25 different matches. Now, the first thing I want to cover is what mode you guys should be jumping into in order to do this. Now, obviously, if there's an LTM available, you guys are welcome to jump into that, whether it's Caldera, Clash, Rebirth, Blood Money, Quads, or something else. But those aren't consistently in the game, so I want to go towards something a little bit more reliable, which is going to be Plunder. Now, Plunder also gives people of all skill levels a little bit more time to achieve the challenge, as they do have 10 to 20 minute long matches, whereas sometimes with those LTMs, they could be quite a bit shorter. Now, when you're flying into Caldera, you absolutely want to land at the airfield. There are tons of players here leveling up weapons, doing their weapon unlock challenges themselves, or they know it's the most popular place on the map, so they're landing here trying to rack up those kills. Now, obviously, with this challenge expecting you to get 5 eliminations in a single match, you're definitely going to want to land here to get the most engagements possible. Now, this challenge isn't going to be as easy as it was in the past, for the simple fact that most of the marksman rifles aren't all that great, and the better ones have gotten a recent nerf overall, making them a little bit more difficult to get those easy eliminations. Now, my recommendation for this challenge is to reduce the amount of space you have between you and the enemies, just for the simple fact that anything over 40 meters could cause multiple hit markers, and it could take you up to 3 or more shots to actually get the elimination that you need. You want to avoid this. You want it to be at least 2, or even in some cases 1. So you're absolutely going to want to eliminate as much distance between you and the enemy players as possible. Now, with that being said, I highly recommend choosing somewhere up high or somewhere that you know that you can mount to and make this a little bit easier in general. And you're going to definitely want to make sure that you aim for the head to also increase your odds of those one-shot eliminations, or just overall decrease the amount of shots it could take you to get that kill. The biggest tip to being successful with this is hitting those headshots. I know that's not always going to be easy, but if you manage to hit headshots, it's obviously going to make the challenge a lot easier and reduce the amount of times that you could be eliminated, giving you more opportunities to be successful, getting those 5 eliminations in the time frame that you have. Honestly, the most beneficial way to actually be successful with this challenge is going to be camping. Choosing your shots wisely is extremely important, as obviously people can turn, and if they see you quick enough, they can destroy you with a meta weapon, as they're likely going to be using those in most cases, whereas you're going to be using something a little less reliable. It's going to be a lot like sniping people in the head. However, with the options you have available, it's going to be a lot more difficult at those further ranges, as you might have to hit multiple shots, and you are kind of stuck with the optic sight that is required for the challenge, which does make these shots a lot more difficult. I highly recommend you guys run dead silence for this. It might give you an opportunity to pop that dead silence, sneak up on somebody who doesn't know exactly where you are, who could even be sniping and just completely unaware, and it could give you an easy close range headshot, which would obviously give you an easy elimination. Really, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is just time those shots. It can mean everything. It can mean the difference between having to hit 2 shots instead of 3, or even just being able to eliminate them in a single shot, which will overall be a much better experience. We've covered some tips and tricks to make this a bit easier. You guys are set up with the challenge and know exactly what you need to do to unlock this. So let's go ahead and dive into what I believe to be the most important part of being successful with this challenge. That's going to be our recommended loadout with the Kar 98 from Modern Warfare. All right, for our attachments, we have as follows. For the muzzle, we have the monolithic suppressor. For the barrel, we have the SynGuard custom 27.6 inch. For the laser, I'm running that tac laser for that quicker ADS speed. For the optic, you need to use a reflex optic. It doesn't matter which one. But for me, I chose the Aim Op reflex sight. And then last but not least, for my rear grip, I have the stippled grip tape. All right, a couple more things I want to address before we wrap things up here. The reason I am recommending to you guys the Kar 98 is it is absolutely the best option to be successful for this challenge. And you guys are going to be limited to Modern Warfare marksman rifles, regardless if there are other marksman rifles available, because you do need to use a reflex sight, which is not necessarily available for the other titles. Any last thing I want to cover is whether or not you can leave the match once you've gotten the progress towards your challenge. So once you're confident that you got the 5 eliminations, you can go to where you edit your loadout in-game, go to the marksman rifles, scroll down to the crossbow for Modern Warfare. If it looks like the progress is tracked properly, you can then leave that match diving into your next one, which will overall decrease the amount of time it should take you to complete this. However, if you are confident you got the 5 eliminations and you go to check the progress and it has not tracked properly, I definitely recommend staying through to the end of the match in order to increase your odds of it going through. and then you would obviously not have to play more matches than is being asked. Now that's going to wrap things up for us here. We've covered some tips and tricks to make it a bit easier. You guys are set up with the challenge and know what to do to unlock this, and you guys are even best set up for success with the loadout I have recommended. So thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support on the channel. I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace.